Okay, can you hear me? Very nice. Okay, so a very good morning. And the poem that we are doing today is The Rain on the Roof. So, rain on the roof. Okay, so the children, before we move on to the poem, when the sky is discovered with is sorry covered with dark clouds and it starts raining, have you ever listened to the patter of soft rain on the roof? When the sky is covered with dark clouds and it starts raining, have you ever listened to the patter of soft rain on the roof? Have you heard? Yes, almost all of us have heard the pitter patter on the roof. Yes? So, what thought flashed through your mind as you hear this melody of nature? Different types of thoughts run through our minds. Okay? Now, we shall read the poem. Okay. Rain on the roof. Okay. So, this poem is written by Coates Kenny, and I shall read the first para. Okay, when the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres, and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears. What a bliss to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead. Now, before I move to the explanation, here are some of the meanings from this same para. Humid. Okay, something which is full of moisture. Something that is full of moisture. Humid, the word in the first line is humid, meaning of it. Then shadow refers to the moisture laden clouds which cast a shadow on the earth. All of us know what is shadow. Hover. Hover means move around something. Okay, move around something, or you can say the another meaning is to stay in air in one place. Hover means to stay in air in one place. But next is melancholy, means sad. Bliss means happiness. Patter, the sounds of raindrops falling on the roof. And cottage chamber means the bedroom. Okay, so these are the meanings in the paragraph. Now I'll just read once more. When the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears, what a bliss to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead. Now, what is the poet saying is describing a dark, rainy night. In this para, the poet is describing the dark, rainy night, the humid shadows. Okay, the humid shadows. Then he says there is sad darkness all around. Okay, that is all. Overall, the starry sphere means in the night, and sphere means earth. Okay, and there is melancholy darkness means there is sadness. Okay, it is sad darkness all around. The rain is describing an emotion, as it looks like tears falling softly from human eyes. Gently weeps in rain, neat tears. What a bliss to press the pillows. So here's what it is saying, that the rain is describing here the emotion. Okay, as it looks like tears falling from the human eyes. Okay, then the feeling of lying while pressing the pillow. So when you sleep on your bed, the pillow, okay, that is below your head. So sleeping or just lying on the bed while pressing the pillow and listening to the sound of the raindrops falling on the rooftop is awesome. This is what the poet is saying in this para. Is it clear? Is it clear? Okay. So shall I move to the next para? Okay. Every tinkle on the singles has an echo in the heart, and a thousand dreamy fancies into busy being start, and a thousand recollections weave their airy threads into hoop as I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof. Now, here are the meanings of tinkle. Tinkle means short, light, ringing sound. Meaning, tinkle means short, light, ringing sound. And single means rectangular wooden tiles used on roofs. Okay, it's rectangular wooden tiles used on roofs. Echo, repeated sound. Oof, weft, or that is a thread woven across the looms. And patter, the sound of raindrops falling on the roof. Busy being refers to human beings, and here the poet is referring to himself. So, this is all the meanings or the difficult words from the paragraph number 2. Okay, so I shall just explain to you paragraph number 2. Now, every tinkle of singles has an echo in the heart, and a thousand dreamy fancies into busy being start, and a thousand recollections weave their airy threads into hoops as I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof. Now, here, what is the poet saying? He says, every drop of water on the roof has an echo in the heart of the poem. It echoes the drops, okay? The every drop of rain that is falling on the rooftop, it has an echo in the heart of the poem. It echoes in the heart of the poet. You can say not poem but poet. Okay, and thousand dreams starts in his heart. So a thousand dreams of fancies into busy being start. So he says a thousand dreams starts. He thinks of these thousands of dreams. Okay, thousands of dreams that he recollects of his previous memories that come to his mind. All these things come, so many things that come to his mind. Okay, so he recollects all those previous memories, and the memories are weaving like threads in the poet's mind. Okay, here, as I said, it is hoof, weave the air threads in the hoof. That is, the memories are weaving like air threads in the poet's mind when he listens to the sounds of the raindrop. So, when he's listening to the sounds of the raindrop, first and foremost he thinks that the raindrops on the rooftop has an echo into his heart. Then he recollects all the memories, okay, the previous memories that he has, okay, and that comes to his mind. Then he recollects the memories are like a weaving thread in the poet's mind. So then he wants to listen to the raindrops and he rejoices. He enjoys listening to the rain drop. So this was paragraph number 2. Now let's move to paragraph number 3. Okay, here now in memory comes my mother as she used in years agone to regard the darling dreamers. Here she left them till the dawn. Oh, I feel her fond look on me as list to this refrain, which is played upon the singles by the patter of the rain. Now, here the meaning of ir is old poetic word for before. Okay, it's used for before. The second dawn is the daybreak. Early mornings is known as dawn. List, that is again old poetic word for listening. As I list to the refrain, that is listening. Okay, then refrain, a repeated part of a song or a poem here, the sound of the rain. Now, in the third para, what the poet is saying. Okay, now in memory comes my mother as she used in years ago to regard the darling dreamers ere she left them till the dawn. Oh, I feel her fond look on me as I list to this refrain, which is played upon the singles by the patters of the rain. So, here what is the poet saying? The poet recalls or remembers his mother. Okay, now in memories comes my mother. So, he remembers his mother. He remembers how many years ago, that is long time ago, when he was a child, okay, in his childhood, how his mother took care of all his siblings. As you know, mother takes care of all the children, so he's thinking of his mother while he's sleeping on the bed. Okay, the memory that has come is about his mother. Okay, he and how his mother took care of all his siblings, and when they used to sleep, okay, and having pleasant dreams, what the mother did, the mother would make a point to look at every little every all her children in the night. Okay, when they are all asleep, the mother used to see them. She used to take care of them. She used to always be worrying for them. So she was always at the side of the children to take care of them. She would not see them again till the next morning. Also, she was always looking at them because she could not see them until next morning. The poet remembers more of how his mother would lend down and watch over him particularly. See, the when he was sleeping also, his mother, that is the poet's mother, though he had so many siblings, his mother used to watch him in the night. So he recalls how she used to particularly look at him. Okay, these memories are evoked as he listens to the repetitive rhymes of the raindrops. So he remembers all this. Okay, and he feels that these memories are evoked as he listens to the sound of the pitter patter of the raindrops that are falling on the roof. So, this is all about the third para. Now, let us move to the poetic device, okay, or the literary device in the poem. Now, the rhyming scheme of the poem in the first stanza. If you look into your poem, okay, first para, those who got the textbook, you can see what is the first word. Now we have to see the rhyming words in the poem. When the humid shadows hover, now what is hover, the word? Okay, we have to see the last word of the in the para, that is hover, spears, darkness, tears, pillow, bed, patters, overhead. So these are all the words. Are they rhyming with each other? Some may rhyme, some may not. So A, first word is A. Now this A is rhyming with hover is rhyming with spear. It is not rhyming. So it is B. Okay, the first is hover is A, spear is B. Now is the darkness rhyming to hover or spear? No. So it is C. Okay, so it becomes A, B, C. Now tears. Tears also is not rhyming with any of the above words. So it becomes D. Okay, sorry, it becomes B. Spear and tear. It's rhyming with the second line last word and the fourth line last word. So they become B and B. Okay. Now the next word is pillow. Now the pillow is not rhyming with any word, so it is D. Okay. Then is bed. Bed also not rhyming with any word, so it is E. Then patters. Now this also word is not rhyming with any word, so it becomes F. Overhead is rhyming with bed, so it is again, what is the alphabet for that? E. So overhead is also E. Did you get the rhyming scheme of this poem? Children, did you understand the rhyming theme of this poem? So what is the rhyming theme of the poem or scheme? A, B, C, D. A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. Okay. Now alliteration into this paragraph. Repetition of consonant sounds into or more consecutive words. So you can see the words on your screen. Humid and hover. Now words starting with humid is H, hover is H. Okay. So H sound is repeated. So it is a alliteration. Starry spears. Here S sound is repeating. So it is alliteration. Okay. Press pillows. So the consonant word, that is P, is repeating. Okay. So P sound is repeating. Then lies listening. Here I sound is repeating. So this is known as alliteration. Okay. The consonant sound that repeats. Sound in two or more consecutive words. Okay. It is known as alliteration. Who is talking? Now what is onomatopoeia? Okay, the use of sound words to create a dramatic effect and auditory image imageries. Now here, what is that word? Patters is used, is the use of sound. It is a sound made by the raindrops falling on the rooftop. So this line is a onomatopoeia. Huh? Humid, however, it is a alliteration. Next is personification. Now, personification, treating a non-living thing as a living thing. So, for non-living thing, you give treating it like a living being. Okay. Now here, darkness has been personified. It is says that it is sad. So, darkness is sad. It is saying no. Darkness is a non-living thing, and it is giving you the human this for it, no effect. So darkness has been personified when it says that it is sad. So that is personification. Then transferred epithet. The use of an adjective with a noun when it refers to another noun. So melancholy, darkness. The darkness is not melancholy, but it refers to the sad people. So this is transferred epithet. Okay, let us move to the next para. Now here again the alliteration in this next second para. The repetition of sound of consonant sound in two or more consecutive words. Which are the words now here? Busy being, that is B. Okay, so it's alliteration. Repetition of the word B. Here, their thread, TH. Then rain, roof. Okay, R. So it is a consonant sound in two or more consecutive words. So it is an alliteration. Yes. I'll come back to you. Wait. Onomatopoeia, the use of sound words to create a dramatic effect and auditory imageries. Okay. Now here again dramatic effect. Okay. And auditory. This is again imaginary something. Tinkle, patters, sound made by the raindrop. Okay, then personification, again treating a non-living thing as a living being. That is, recollection is personified when he says they that they weave dreams. So recollection is a non living thing, and it is treating as a living thing, okay, telling that it is weaving dreams. Transferred epithet, the use of an adjective with a sound, sorry, with a noun when it refers to another noun. That is dreamy fancies. It does not mean that the fancies are dreamy, but refers to the people who have dreams. So this is transferred epithet. In the third stanza, again the alliteration, that is memory, my mother. So M is the sound consonant that is been repeating. Okay, repetition of the consonant, that is M. Then darling dreamers. D sound is being repeated. So this is known as alliteration. Onomatopoeia, the use of sound words to create a dramatic effect, and auditory imageries, that is patter, again sound of raindrops falling on the shingle of the roof. So just we'll go through the summary of this poem. That is, the poem is about the rain. The poet recalls sweet memories from his childhood. So it is mostly the poet, he recalls his childhood memories. When the dark cloud covers the sky and it starts raining, the poet lies down on his bed and listens to the pattern of the soft rain that falls on the roof of his home. So the poet is lying on the bed and listening to the pattern of the soft rain that falls on the roof of his home. The sound of the rain droplet brings back sweet memories of the past. The memories of his mother flash through his mind, and he remembers how his mother used to tell him stories when he was a small kid.